Hey friends and family, welcome to Marcie Creates. This is Marcie. Welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. We are going to continue on with our new palette. I am working with the Bargain Bead Box Misty Rose, which are all these beautiful pinks and coppers that came in the box. That's everything on the top here. And then for those of you who did not see Sunday's video, we made this really pretty, very detailed wire wrap necklace with a lot of the components from the Bargain Bead Box using this palette that I pulled and I added beads to, and basically playing with the colors that were in the box but enhancing it. So today I'm going to move this necklace to the side. I thought we would make some companion earrings using this same palette and more components from the Bargain Bead Box. So in the interest of keeping this, now Sunday's video was very long, and also for those of you who have not seen it, I will link it in the description. It was my third take. I had thought that I was filming and discovered I wasn't. I had to start over, so that was quite an adventure, but I am checking and making sure that I'm recording now, so hopefully that won't happen again. But I did want to make a pair of earrings using these really cool components that came with the box, along with, I love these kind of round components, and then just playing with more of these colors that we got from the box. I am using the chain that came from the box and these really pretty copper and pink little tiny crystals. And then I added some fire polish beads in this pretty rose color. I found a really gorgeous heart-shaped check bead we're going to use. We are going to use, I think this leaf bead was also in the, yeah, this was in the necklace. And then I just picked up more tones and we're using copper wire. This is 20 gauge copper wire to make our components with. And these, I will show you how to make a few of these, but these are just simple looped components. And I've got some really pretty copper ball head pins that we're going to use. So I think what I'll do is move some things over, because I think most of the stuff we're going to use is I have out already, and we'll just go down to the bead mat here. So I'm just going to move the Bargain Bead Box components to the back here, just so we can see our palette. And I love the copper with all these colors. These are all the beads that came in the box that I'm putting up here right now. And then these are more of the components. I'm going to do something with this next, but I haven't decided what. We have lots of findings that they gave us. And that's what's nice about the Bargain Bead Box. You get almost everything you need to create several pieces of jewelry. So those of you that are new to my channel or the Bargain Bead Box, that's what's so great about it. So that's all the beads that came in the box. And then I added, with our palette, some of the mint green, I'll move this up, some teal, kind of a darker coppery brown, more of a mauve color, and more pinks, and some off-white. So all that combined made that one necklace. So I've pulled some components. Like I said, I already put a few things together just in the interest of making sure that this tutorial isn't super long. It is just making a lot of components, and I will show how I made all of them, but I wanted to have enough of them already put together that this video wouldn't be super long. All right, so there's our components. I'm going to move this beadboard to the side here. And so I'm just going to make kind of a chandelier earring, picking up on these colors. So my thought is to do the really pretty, this is a really pretty check bead, and I think I got this on Bargain Bead Box, not with this box, not with the subscription, but just on their website, which is the other nice thing about it, is when you have their subscription, you can go on their website, already great prices, and you can get 30% off. So I had just recently bought some things, and these are one of them, and then these leaves too I also bought. So I want to put this, I think, here. I'm gonna do some dangles. Let me just move this. Actually, let me move these back. Now that you have an idea of the colors, we don't need that much on the board. And I think I will zoom in a little here so we can see what's going on. So I've already put some things on the head pins. I've got some of these really tiny crystal rondelles, and my thought there is I'm going to make some dangles and hang them from this teal bead. This is going to go here. These are going to hang from the teal bead, so like that. We're going to wire wrap those, and then on the sides I thought it would be cool to do a little bit of chain. I already measured this. This is seven links. And then I thought we might do a little wire wrapping here, some dangles there. And then I would do on the very outside maybe something like this, and then add the little circles. So that's where we're going with this. So first step is to make your components. So I've got 2 of these that we're, gonna use. I've got these on the head pins ready to go for wire wrapping. So I think we'll probably do that first. I do still need to make the wire component for this green bead and also our pretty heart. So we're going to do that next. So how I made those, if again you didn't see my video on Sunday, is you're just going to cut a length of, this is to the 20 gauge wire right here, and you just basically, you do want to make sure your ends are flush. So let me just make sure I clean up the ends. I think I'm only making 2 of these components tonight. I have the rest of them made. They're not hard to make, but they're a little bit time consuming. So I like to make a few in advance of the video just to save some time. But you're basically going to take your round nose pliers. Am I too close? I'm trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. And you just make a P. Like this. And then, I love these Xuron because they have such a pointy end, but you want to come in with some flush cutters or some kind of pointy. You're going to put your pointy right there, and you're going to just push back like that. And this I learned from Nilay Patel on one of his videos, and he calls that breaking the neck. So once you've made that, let's do the heart first. We're going to add our heart. And these check beads are so pretty. And for this one, I want to make sure that this is going to hang. I want to make sure the loop is oriented where it's going to hang right from the top of this. So see how that's sideways or perpendicular to that? So for the ear wires are also straight. So we're gonna go to the side with this. So we're just gonna bend this to the side, just like that. And then we don't need all of this. We need about 1/4 of an inch or so. So we're gonna snip that. And here's what you've got. And then with the round nose pliers, we're gonna come to the end and we're gonna basically, what they say, walk it back. And there's your loop. Now, if you have one of those loop makers, looper tool, I think is what it's called, it's a good investment. I tend to crack my beads when I use it, because if you get too close to your beads, they will get crunched. I need to practice with it more. But if, you don't have to have that. It's just, it does save you a little bit of time. So there's our top component. And I also need to do the same thing with this green bead. So we'll do that next. So I've got another little piece, I guess it's about 1.5 inches maybe, or 2 inches. Well, 2.5 inches. Look at me. And I think this is already flush. It is. So we're gonna, again, make a P. And if you want your loops to be exactly the same, you can mark your round nose pliers with a Sharpie. I'm just eyeballing it. But if you're a little bit more particular, you can use a Sharpie and mark it. So now I'm going to come in again and let's make sure that's shut. Okay. And we're just going to, they say, break the neck. Actually, let me come in here and do that a little bit tighter. And we're going to add our nice mint bead. And then we're going to make exactly like we did with the heart, but we're going to go perpendicular to the bead like that. Cut our excess. And this is a lot of wire to use, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. You can save the scraps. Believe me, they come in handy for different things. So don't throw them away, but just have like a spot where you can keep them. And we're gonna take these round nose and we're just gonna walk this back again. And there is our component. Now sometimes your loops are a little bit cattywampus, as they say. I guess that's a technical term, I don't know. I'm gonna say it is. You can straighten these by taking some bent nose pliers and just maneuvering your loops so that they're facing the same way. So once you've got these all made, you can come in and just make sure they're straight. I think this one down here needed a little bit of help. There we go. And once you got those straight, I think these look pretty good. Let me check this guy. All right. Next, we're going to add dangles to this little guy. So I have these really tiny head pins with the balls on the end. And we're going to wrap these. We're going to add 5 of them. Or do I have 5 or 6? Let's see. 1, 2, I may have too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, that's it. So I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers. I'm going to make tiny, I'm coming on the end to make little loops. And we're going to, and this head pin is pretty, I would say it's maybe 22 gauge. I really don't know the gauge, but it's very malleable. So it's easy to do the wire wrapping. And And we already did a wire wrap with one of these on this little dangle bead. And we're just going to add a bunch of these to the dangle. And I am doing messy wraps, as I like to call them, so I'm not being very exact. If you want to be exact, go right ahead. This is you make it your design. You can do exactly what I'm doing, or you can change it up. Always options. Don't feel like you have to do everything. I'm going to get rid of that little end. And as you add these, it's going to get a little bit tighter. I'm just checking for any pieces of wire hanging. And we're just going to add these other 4 dangles. So I kind of like to do an assembly line. So I'll make all my loops first, like this, and I won't close it, obviously, because we're going to wrap it. And then I'll go to the next one. So if you're doing multiples of things, just make a little, assembly line and do one step, and then the next step, and then the next step. And that's a quick way to get the job done. This is a great thing to do, if you are watching a good TV show. So it doesn't really take any thought. You can make a bunch of components and have them ready, for when you're in the mood to put something together. So here's our dangles, and I'm just going to attach them. Now I'm going to use my little Zuron. These are crimpers, but I love the pointy tip. And as I can, I noticed they have other tools. I'm going to be purchasing more, because that point, when you're doing a fine thing like this with small dangles, is very, very helpful. Very helpful. So I hope everybody's Tuesday is going well. If you did not catch this necklace, it was quite a project, I would say. A lot of steps, but not difficult steps. And it was one of my longer videos, so don't feel bad about pausing it and coming back. It's a long one. Or you don't have to do all the steps either. But I just like you to see what the possibilities are. And if you want to do 1 or 2 things and not do everything, that's totally your choice. But thank you for all the lovely comments. A lot of you were very sympathetic when I explained that I was that I filmed and didn't film. That was crazy. So you know what? You learned from it. I'm very careful now. I'm making sure that little record button's blinking. Very key. But as many videos as I've made, I'm kind of surprised I hadn't done that before. But Sunday I thought, well, I'll just get all my videos done, do a bunch, and because I did some unboxings, which I'll be showing later, as well as that video, because during the week I have a day job, and sometimes that job has to come first, because of course that's my main source of income. And so there's no telling what my week's going to be like. And my computer that I had was out of warranty. They had to send me a new computer, and I work remotely from home. So when I got it, I was missing some cords, and my friend Michael came over and tried to help. God bless him. I called him in tears, and Michael to the rescue. He showed up with a big box of cords, and he didn't have any. We ended up, I think, ordering something from Amazon, and then there was something else that was wrong. I had to put in tickets with our IT department, and it took about a good week to get myself back up and running the way that I like to. So I got really behind. So Sunday I thought, well, I'm going to do a lot of videos, all in one day, and that way I can get ahead. And then I didn't press record. It happens. But anyway, so Michael, I'll give you a little plug. Michael has a channel also. called Getting Out in Life. And he just did, I'm trying to think, his last video was Cabela's. I don't know if you guys have those where you are, but it's like a really big camping store with all kinds of cool stuff. And he also, for those of you that love, if you've ever watched Stranger Things, he has another video about Stranger Things. They had one of the outlet malls had a store, a Stranger Things store. So there were some cool things in there. And his wife Carolyn was in it. And he's a big supporter of my channel, so I always try to plug him. So I'm going to link his channel in my descriptions also. He does lots of stuff around Dallas, Fort Worth, things, everything from the Fort Worth Zoo to checking out new places. There's, museums around here, so it's kind of interesting. And then he's very big into the ham radio and emergency preparedness. That was a really very informative video. So check him out, Getting Out in Life. And like I said, he came to my rescue, and he's really been a good supporter of this channel and helps me a lot. So I have to make sure that I am supportive also. So that's what you do for your friends. And he's a cute guy. He's, very Texan, got his hat on. I think when he starts this video, he says, "Howdy, y'all." So check him out. Anyway, he kind of kept me sane last week when I was in tears over the whole computer debacle. All right, so here's our dangles. And we're going to attach this to a green bead. And then we're going to attach the green bead to I feel like, what's that song? The thigh bone's connected to the knee bone. This is going to be connected to this, and this is going to be connected to this. We're going to do a lot of connections, so that's why it's nice to have these already made. You can just then open them up and attach them. We did a beaded chain on that necklace, and that's basically how I did it. And it's just a pretty look. It is a little labor intensive. It's not hard though. So the trick here is to find your, see, we have so many dangles, but I think I found where to hook that bead. There we go. That's where these little tight things come in handy. I gotta tell you, I need more Zuron in my life. And then, like I said too, I think on my last video, I found these cutters made by the same company, and I'm just loving their tools. So I just definitely want to share that with you if you're on the market for new tools, or you want to try something new. Give these Zuron a try. I really like them. So now I'm going to add my really pretty leaf bead. I love these. Little raspberry color. And then we're going to attach this to this beautiful component from Bargain Bead Box, the one in the center. That's going to be our centerpiece. And when you're making chandelier earrings, it's a good idea to start with the middle piece and then work your way out. So I think I'm going to attach our heart also. So you basically just open these up like you would a jump ring. You just use your wrist and open it this way. You don't want to go this way because you'll never get it back into the shape. So you always want to kind of work it to the side. Let me do this. And we're going to close that guy up. So you can see where we're going with this. Very, very pretty. So now I want to do my sides, and I thought hanging some of this chain, hanging these dangles on the chain, and then using some jump rings would be pretty. So we're going to do that next. So I'm going to wire wrap these to the chain, and I'm just going to use these little guys. And again, these are my ball and head pins, and I'm just going to wrap that around here, and we're going to open that slightly. Take our, and I think this is 7 links. I don't usually count the links, but I did this time because I made them shorter, so it was not a big deal to count them. And I'm just going to wire wrap this to the end. And again, I'm doing the messy wraps. It was nice and cool this morning for North Texas. Felt really good. I'm ready for fall. Probably some of you in the Northeast or East Coast, even the West Coast, probably are feeling more fall. And then I have some of you viewers are in Australia, and I know you're in your spring. I'm going to do this other side. Same thing. I've been watching a lot of stuff on what's been going on over in England, you know, with all the processions and everything going on with the death of Her Majesty. She's the only queen I've known of. And when I lived over there, we used to run around, and this was back in the 80s. We would have Princess Diana sightings and Queen Elizabeth sightings, and we would run around, try to see all the royals. When I meet up with my friends, that was like a big topic of discussion. I was such and such place, and I caught a glimpse of Princess Diana. That was a big deal. I remember staying up at night to watch her wedding to Charles. Now he's King Charles. Amazing. But it's been interesting to see a lot of people have come out, you know, to see them, and it's something. It's sad, but it's interesting. I mean, what'd they say? She was the longest reigning monarch? Pretty amazing. All right, so we're going to add these with some jump rings, and I have some like dark copper brass type jump rings that I thought would look nice, and I'm just going to use my bent nose pliers to open those. I like to open and close my jump rings with the bent nose pliers, and these are by Bead, and the handles are super nice. So if you have problems with your hands, these, I guess what they say, are ergonomic, and they are lovely to work with. Your hands don't get fatigued using those, which is always a plus, especially, you know, when you make jewelry and you're opening and closing jump rings and things like that, you're doing a lot of repetitive motion. So do make sure that you can get the best tools you can afford. I know some of them are frightfully expensive. I can't even afford some of the ones that are out there, but just try to find something that is comfortable for your hands, that you can get a good grip on so you don't injure yourself, and also, you know, takes care of your hands. You're not going to wear out your ligaments and hurt your wrists and knuckles and things like that. So I'm just adding these to the really pretty component with these jump rings. After that necklace, this is a darn sight simpler. Even though it's still a lot of moving parts. So I'm liking this so far. So I think for the last bit here, we're going to do a green, another really pretty fire polish bead. And then these are interesting. They're kind of, that circle in the middle is kind of off center. I really like that. We're going to put that on the end. And so we've kind of got the circle here and the circles down here. It was my thought. So again, I'm going to use my bent nose pliers. I'm going to open up my green bead and just slide that really pretty fire polish bead. And then I'm going to open this end and I'm going to add this circle component. Once you get the components made, putting it together is pretty straightforward. I love this component, this chandelier component that they put in the box. That's cute. I like it. This will be very cute with that necklace. All right, so again, we're going to open up our loop. Get that closed. Open up this loop. Oops. All right. And we're going to attach this. I think I'm going to need some ear wires. I don't know. Oh, I think I see them. I think I see them. They're off yonder, as they say in Texan. Yonder. That's not a word I ever used when I lived in Michigan, but I live in Texas now. So I say things like y'all, fixin' to, and yonder. All right, so I think that is super cute. And I'm gonna grab some ear wires if I can find some. And I will be right back because I don't wanna disturb the camera. Okay, I decided to make the companion piece so we have two to look at off camera. Usually I do the other one later, but this is so pretty I wanted to have the pair. So there are our earrings. I think they turned out really cute. I love all the dangles. Let's see what they look like with our necklace. I'm just gonna move a few of these things. I think we're gonna have to make a bracelet next, guys. Here is our necklace with the beaded chain and those really pretty dangles. And now we have matching earrings. I think these turned out very nice. And I like that they're not exact matches, but the colors match. So you can wear them together or just wear the necklace. These would be really great with a big sweater. I was thinking like a mint green sweater would be pretty, or a teal sweater with the earrings. Those of you that love to wear the shoulder dusters, that's what I like. But I think those colors turn out nice together. I love this color palette. I do want to do more with it. And again, if you hadn't seen the video that I did Sunday, I basically took the colors from the predominant color from the bargain bead box, which was this rose color, and I did a little search for color combinations with that color, which is right here, and I found something that I really liked. I printed it out on my printer and I went through my stash and I found beads that coordinated. And so we still have a ton of beads left over for making more projects. I haven't even touched these yet, which I love. Love these. I'm thinking about a wire wrapped something something. And then these bead caps are really cool. They look like little flowers. Haven't played with those yet either. So, whoops. And there I go dropping beads. It never fails, right? Always gonna drop the beads. But anyway, here is our tutorial Tuesday for tonight. It matches so nicely with the necklace. I really do love, like I said, this color combination. Definitely going to keep this. And if you do this, I suggest, keeping a record. Take a photograph with your piece, and if you sell your jewelry, you'll have this to refer to make pieces later on, or you can find another palette with some pinks in it and kind of see how that evolves. So that's a way to get inspired and play with some color. And those of you that are on my Facebook group, Marcie Creates, I'd love to see if you're going to do anything with this palette or a different palette with this bargain bead box. Do post your things. Those of you who are not in our Facebook group, you're more than welcome to join. We have lots of color inspiration over there and looking at gorgeous gemstones. I try to post something inspirational at least once a day. And we have about 130 people, I think, in that group. And then if you're not really that big on Facebook, you can follow me over on Pinterest. I also have lots of boards on color there. And that is Marcie Creates and then Space Studio. So thanks so much for watching. Do subscribe. I'd love to have you. And I am trying to grow my channel and bring you more inspirational color type content. And like and subscribe if you would. Check out my all my links for the color theory videos, and also, as I mentioned, Michael's channel, Getting Out in Life, and also the video where I made this necklace. So I hope you have a wonderful evening. I hope the rest of your week is fantastic, and hopefully it goes by smooth, and then you're into the weekend and you have a wonderful weekend. So take care. I appreciate all of you very much. Take care of yourselves and your families. Be safe. And I will see you on the next video.